another episode of Conquering Your Heart, where we dissect real issues of the heart, dating, and relationships.
I just thought it was awesome. It was just awesome.
Now here are your hosts, Mike, the 45-year pro dater, and Robin, the woman who had a divorce but wasn't married.
Hello folks, welcome to Conquering Your Heart. This is the first episode and it's so exciting. We had two daters that went on a blind date and we want to know if they're going to go on a second date. So stay tuned to the end of this video to find out. I'm Mike Magdaleno.
And I'm Robin Magdaleno, and we're so excited to have you here tonight.
Let's go. Robin, why don't you explain what we did with the daters?
So we had Tony and Jordan come to our kitchen studio and cook dinner. So not only was it their first date, but it was a blind date, and we just threw them in on the mix.
Yes, so we have some video of an interview that we did with both of them prior to the date. Let's go over that right now.
Thank you so much for joining us on our special blind date edition of Conquering Your Heart. Tonight we have Jordan. She's here for our blind date. Jordan, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I am a Colorado native. I was born and raised here. I've never actually lived outside of the state. But I do love to travel, and I still have that desire to move out of the state at some point. But I do not have any kids. I have a dog who's 4 years old, doodle mix. He is fantastic.
Just tell us about yourself.
Well, I am an educated person. I'm 46 years old. I'm a licensed architect and do a lot of project management on construction projects. Friendly, happy, and fun.
Okay.
Ultimately, I'm looking for a relationship, someone to be able to spend time with, have fun with, and go out and be with each other. I've been married before, and so I'm not opposed to getting married again, but to me it's not necessarily a hard requirement.
Okay.
What you thinking?
So in my life right now, I think start out with mutual friendship and respect. We'll start there. Friendship, if it leads to something else, great.
Okay.
If not, I think someone who wants to travel, our goals align. Am I looking to get married again? Oh man, that's a tough pill to swallow again.
Yeah. Do you think that you've conquered your heart in today's, as of today?
Yes and no. So in some aspects, yes. In some aspects, no. I would say that I'm guarded for sure.
Okay.
Conquering your heart, you find yourself more alone, and spiritually you find yourself more. The things that you like, things that you'll tolerate, things that you won't. But in any relationship, you tolerate things until you can't deal with it anymore. Yeah. Whether that's your relationship, your work, or anything else in life.
Yeah.
I feel like you've conquered your heart.
No. I definitely think that there is someone out there. I've had, heartbreaks in the past, also the marriage, but I would say that no, I think that that's still yet to come.
Very awesome. Well, we have thrown Jordan and Tony into a mutual ground where they're going to be cooking dinner tonight, so we're so excited about seeing how this date turns out. So thank you so much, Jordan, for being here on Conquering Your Heart.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so that is Tony and Jordan, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. We're going to show you the date, and we're going to let you know whether they hit it off and they're going to go on a second date. First of all, we want to bring in our special guest, Carrie Ann Appleton. I've known her for about 10 years or so. She's an empowerment coach. And Carrie Ann, I'd like you to just tell our viewers what you actually do.
Welcome, Carrie Ann.
Thank you. Thank you, Robin and Mike. So yeah, my name is Carrie Ann Appleton. I'm an empowerment coach. I really help people, specifically women. I focus on women, not to say I don't work with men, but I really help women to find their most authentic self. And when they find their most authentic self, to live a more aligned life, including living in alignment with love. So that's really what I focus on. I'm really excited about being here tonight and talking more with the daters.
We're so excited to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie Ann. Well, let's get into this. We're going to be talking about holidating.
Yes, so whether you're single and dating in the holidays, we want to know what's going on.
All right, the first topic is, do you find it easier or harder to date during the holidays? And let's do some really quick answers here real quick. Robin, is it easier or harder?
I'm going to say harder.
All right, Carrie Ann?
I'm going to say easier. It's my favorite time of year.
Okay, and I'm going to say it's harder. I really believe it's harder. Now, let's see what our viewers' hearts say. Mr. L says yes, especially Christmas. All right, Carrie Ann, what do you think about that?
Well, since I'm a big fan of the holidays, I think there's this magic of believing and this magic of possibility. And so when I really step into the energy of that, it just feels like it's so much easier and comfortable to date during the holidays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our second question. Do you find yourselves lonelier during the holidays? Robin, yes or no?
When I was single, yes.
Carrie Ann?
No, I don't. It's the time of year where I'm planning the most activities, or I'm being invited to the most activities by friends. And we used to always create a routine. I say we used to because I actually don't live in the United States anymore. And so celebrating Christmas is a little bit different down here in Brazil. But I used to plan so many activities. And actually here in Brazil, I still plan a lot of activities where I'm gathering people. And so I never feel lonely.
I find myself single, or I'm sorry, lonelier when I was single. Let's find out what our viewers' hearts say. Mr. S says, outwardly no, as people are very giving. Inwardly yes, as it's kind of stressful. All right, Robin, is there any feedback on that or what you think?
Well, I think that he is stressed because it's holidays and he's feeling that he doesn't want to go date someone because they are busy, but he's excited because people are giving and loving at Christmas time.
Carrie Ann, what do you think just in general, whether it be in reference to Mr. S's comment or what you think?
Well, I mean, the holidays can have a lot of expectation, and for each of us, those expectations look differently. Families, work, friends, and so it's all based on, do you want to accept those expectations, or do you have a different perspective of how you look at the holidays? So I'm going to use myself as an example, and I know that a lot of people are not like that. But I look at it as an opportunity to connect. It's such a magical time of the year, and there's so many great things, and people get into the spirit. Let go of expectations. I've let go of buying that perfect gift or looking perfect. I know. You watch the movies, and I'm already watching the movies, by the way. I love Christmas. And we get sucked into those expectations. But when we realize and have awareness, we can let go and just be more at ease and enjoy the holidays and create the holidays we want.
I somewhat agree. It would be nice to be able to do that, but it's hard. To me, I got lonely in the holidays. I wasn't able to date as much because people are doing different things with their families and so forth, going to holiday parties, and they didn't know whether or not they should invite you.
Well, if I was coaching you, I would probably have you let's dig deeper under the surface of why you were lonely. What was really under the surface there and resolving that?
Yeah, well, I wasn't quite ready for a relationship those days.
Oh, there you have it.
And so no one could really, no one could tie me down. And so I think that was actually a cause of my loneliness. But at the same time, talking about Mr. S's comment, I do remember feeling really lonely at times, but then when I got with my friends, then outwardly I was, hey, things are going great or whatever. But internally, when I went home, it was a lonely house, and it became lonely internally. So I understand what Mr. S is talking about.
All right, well, let's hear from another one of our viewers' hearts. Mrs. T says sometimes yes, that she feels lonely during the holidays.
Carrie Ann, anything to comment on that?
I was just thinking about like the holidays in terms of, again, going back to expectations. We're trying to, it's a magical time of year and we all want to be seen and heard and respected. And oftentimes we're not. So, for example, as a child, I did struggle with the holidays. I actually cried almost every Christmas I can remember as a child because my mom, who had a huge family, 7 brothers and sisters, so lots of just people, I kind of felt like I was stuffed in a corner somewhere and wasn't enjoying it. So there's those moments, and I think during these like it feels so special and magical, and you want to be seen, you want to be validated, you want to be just appreciated, and you're doing all this work to plan the perfect meal or to have the greatest tree or to get to Tuba Christmas or whatever event you're doing, or to be a great Secret Santa, and you're not even recognized. It's like you're in the shadow. So I can understand why many people probably feel lonely.
Feeling left out,
yes.
feeling left out, and whatever your input's not as valued too. So
and like you said, you grow up thinking Christmas is magical, and then you have that feeling inside that you're just not there.
I love the holidays, but I actually get stressed out too on the holidays because I'm like you, Carrie Ann, or as you mentioned, other people, maybe not like you, but I want to have the best dinner. I love to cook, so I want to have the best meal, and I get anxiety. I get stressed out that everyone's going to enjoy the meal type thing. Is the turkey going to come out good, or I don't bake, but just are the cookies going to come out good, whatever it be. And so I mean, it could get lonely for me. So let's go.
All right.
Let's go to the third question, and this is actually going to be pretty fun, I think.
Yes.
Have you ever gone to a holiday party of your boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, etc., and got totally wasted? and we're just going to do yes or no's right now. Carrie Ann, yes or no?
No.
Oh, no. Robin? No. All right. Well, if you know me, yes. It was just totally yes. And probably more than one time. So let's see what our viewers' hearts say.
Mrs. B says never. That would be embarrassing. All right. I kind of feel like you want to go have some fun. You just kind of got to shake it off. If you should go out and have some fun and party.
All right, Carrie Ann, what do you think about this whole thing? Do people go out and get trashed at their spouses or friends or whatever it be holiday?
I mean, I've definitely heard of friends doing this, and not necessarily intentionally. And I've never actually gotten curious with them as to why. I just know it exists. So, I mean, again, it could be just about like letting loose and having fun. And it could be about that need to be seen and not realizing they need to be seen and recognized. So who knows?
Well, I did do this a number of times, and I'm not sure what that stemmed from, whether I wanted attention or not, but I do know that I didn't care, really. I mean, maybe the next day I was like, oh, crap, who do I owe an apology to type thing.
I don't remember.
But I don't remember. Yes, but I think it was fun. I mean, maybe because I was just young. I don't know. We do have another comment from one of our viewers, so let's see what his heart says. Mr. O, in my younger days, yes, I would get trash, but rarely get trashed anymore. When I was in my 20s, I had a bad problem with drugs and alcohol, so I can remember going to parties with and without a date and just getting hammered. Cleaned up my act after that. Now I try to be responsible and not get out of my own control. One particular party, California, I was in shorts, no underwear, passed out on a girlfriend's couch, leg over back of couch, all my junk hanging out. They threw a big blanket over me, remembering waking up in a poof of sweat. And a few years back, I had a few too many Everclear gummies, started grabbing every ass that I got near me, and yeah, she was pissed. Laugh out loud. She drug me out sooner than I wanted to go. Laugh out loud. Yeah, hammer that night. Shit show. Yes, I feel like I've had some of those nights as well.
Thank you, Mr. O, for that.
Yes. Yeah, that's it's not a good scene, but they're great memories. Anything to share on that? I know you probably shouldn't get hammered in trash. We're not saying yes, go do it or condoning it, but sometimes it just happens. Carrie Ann, have you been with anyone at a holiday party that got trashed and you just had to take home early?
Of course, I mean, not a date per se, but friends for sure, colleagues. And I mean, I went to university. I did the whole party life there. I was 20 or 25 once and did some crazy stuff for sure. That I'm never embarrassed or regret. And it was wild. And I'm sometimes like, I knock on wood and go, wow, I'm still alive because I did some crazy things under the influence of alcohol. For sure.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think the holidays actually spark more drinking than normal, and like you said, it's time to celebrate, time to do whatever. You may be off and just sort of celebrating that you don't have to work the next day or that week, and yeah, maybe you just get a little quick carried away.
Yeah. So if any of our viewers watching right now, give us a little bit of your trashed holiday party stories. We'd love to hear it.
And you feel free to email us at conqueringyourheart@gmail.com. It'll be right below us. conqueringyourheart@gmail.com. Let us know what you think, whether you've had this experience or not.
Yes. All right. And now for the good stuff. We're so excited. We've got our daters here tonight on Zoom with us. They're going to be joining Carrie on Zoom. And we are going to find out if they're going to go on a second date or not.
Stick with us. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Yes.
Let's bring them in, ladies and gentlemen. Carrie Ann, do you have anything more to ask or to comment on any of the questions or anything we've done so far?
No, I think it's great and it's fun for this time of year. It's holidaying.
All right, now it's the moment you guys have all been waiting for. We have our daters, Tony and Jordan, here on Zoom with us. And welcome. Thank you for coming and thank you for being here. What we're going to do is actually show you highlights of the date. There'll be pauses where we actually talk about what actually happened then and that at that moment. And everyone's willing to chime in. If you want to chime in, go ahead and fill something out on the chat. Send us a question. Let us know what you think about the date. We want to know what our viewers' hearts say and whether or not these two people should go on a second date, or continue this and see what happens later.
We'll find out at the end of the show.
Yes, let's go right into our first video, folks.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
I'm Tony.
Hi,
Nice to
Jordan.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Brought you flowers.
Oh, thank you very much. That's so sweet. They're gorgeous. Beautiful.
We'll
Well, come on
take it to the
in.
kitchen, and so nice to meet you. I'm actually gonna.
Nice
check
to
it
meet you
out.
too.
Hi.
We are back on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's talk about a few things here. Do you bring flowers on a first date? Let's just discuss that.
All right.
Well, I was raised to always show up with more than your appetite to a date or any date for that matter. So flowers is always a nice touch. So I believe so. Yeah.
Jordan, how did you feel about the flowers?
I thought it was super sweet. It's a nice gesture. I will say one thing though is probably should have left them in the bouquet because it was a little challenging to drive home later when they were in a vase full of water. So, but it was a very sweet gesture. I do appreciate it and thank you.
Okay. And on a date, do you shake hands or hug? We saw a hug and a handshake. What do you feel is great on a date?
A first date.
A first date.
A first blind date.
Blind date.
Any comments?
Yeah.
So I think that awkward moment when you first meet someone and you don't know anything about them and you're just trying to kind of get that feel out there? Is it going to be a handshake, trying to read body language? Is it going to be a gentle hug? So for me, it probably came out as both, but I think ultimately once we kind of met each other and saw each other, it was a gentle hug.
Okay.
Carrie Ann, I want to ask your opinion. What do you think about hugging and bringing flowers on a first date?
Well, first of all, the flowers I thought was a great touch. I'm a flower person, so I do appreciate it, but I don't always expect it because you never know the situation of the person that's going to show up, right? Are they rushing from work? And I'm sure there's expectations around, do I pick the right flowers? Are roses good? Or Gerber daisies good? You know, things like that. So I never have that expectation, but it's a nice gesture. In terms of greeting, I'm a mixed bag, especially living in Brazil now for 5 years, because no matter what, if you're friends, the colleagues, or if you're dating or going on a date, we always kiss. And in Rio, it's 2 kisses, 1 on each cheek. Even during Corona with our masks, we do our 2 kiss. And actually, on one of the first dates I had here, the guy went in right for a real kiss, and I was shocked. I just stood there like, did that just happen?
I've had that happen to me too on a first date.
But you didn't push him away and slap him or anything like that. You like
No, because also here in Brazil, if you don't kiss on the first date, it usually means you don't want to go on a second. They're a very affectionate culture, so you got to kind of just get used to it. I love it now. Not necessarily all the kissing, but I do love the affection, I would say.
So all the worldwide viewers out there, comment. Let us know your culture, because it sounds like it could be a cultural thing. You know, I like the hugging and the kissing. I am actually a hugger. I hug my friends. I hug my guy friends. I hug my girlfriends. And I like kissing. So, you know, most of the time I'm going in for a kiss. Well, let's talk about this. Do you now? All right. No, I'm not gonna get ahead of ourselves. But all right, they just first met. We got a few more videos to show of the date. Again, comment on the chat. Let us know what you guys think.
All right, let's see some more video of this date.
To see Boulder for a little while, about 4.5 years, and then bounced around the suburbs of Denver for graduate school.
Don't hold it against me that I went to CSU.
Oh no!
It was only 1 semester.
You're forgiven. Well, so a little bit about me. I have a twin brother, so if you see me out and about and I don't say hi,
you're not just
because
blowing me off.
I don't know you.
It's
Went out to Arizona, Great Southwest Classic. We got to run on the same team as teammates.
Can I grab a spoon?
Absolutely. So no children, huh?
I do not.
You said if you had twins would be your ideal. You're gonna want to wreck that body in one time, huh?
Okay.
Okay. There's a few things. All right. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there are a few things here that we need to talk about. I thought it was great. Anyone want to go first? Carrie Ann, Robin.
I do want to say one thing. So when you're on a first date, you're nervous, you're telling a story, you get interrupted, and you forget your story, and you completely go on a different subject. I don't know if you caught that, but it was pretty cool.
So let's discuss that real quick. So Tony, I'm not sure if you forgot what you were saying, but you were in the middle of a sentence. She says, hey, I need to get a spoon or whatever it be. And you just went somewhere totally different. Was it because you forgot, or did you think that she just wasn't interested in what you had to say and you just needed to change the subject?
I probably got nervous in that moment. I was cracking up at I actually said that. So, wow. Yeah, I got nervous.
I figured a nervous section probably came right in on that part.
Yeah, and the comment about wrecking your body all at one time, it's like, that was brave, man. That was cool.
That was very brave.
What I thought.
Good.
what I thought when I watched, of course, I've watched the whole thing from start to finish before we started tonight, was I can imagine it's challenging to go on a first date, 1.
Mm-hmm.
2, a blind date. 3, you're being recorded.
Yes.
So it adds a whole nother element of like anxiety in essence, so how you show up is how you showed up. And it was, I just thought it was awesome. It was just awesome.
All right, so I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but if one of your clients was talking to you about, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm getting set up with this blind date, is there any suggestions or thoughts that you would give to them, and just let us know?
Yeah, sure. So a couple things. One is I always tell my clients, no matter what, if it's a first date, if it's a blind date, if you're doing this on a video, is be your authentic self. Because, we want to be in relationship with someone, and we want them to accept us. And they can't accept us if we're not willing to show ourselves, right? So
Right.
that would be my first piece of advice. My second, going into this situation, what's challenging is, I imagine, Tony and Jordan, you've never had a date recorded before, like a camera crew following you around, right? So you're going through a first-time experience together, which can create an illusion of an additional like bonding. It's kind of like when you hike some treacherous trail that you've never hiked with, and like a terrible thunderstorm comes together, and you kind of go through this like really challenging moment together. It can kind of create an illusion of a stronger bond. And so I would say just to be aware of that if it was one of my clients, because this is a first-time experience for both of you. It's great for I will tell you, first-time experiences like this that really kind of push you outside your comfort zone a little bit is great for couples that are struggling and they're disconnected and they need to reconnect because they go through something together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and then not just first date, but couples.
Yeah, for sure. And it's great for friendships, by the way, to go do something like go skydiving together. If you've never skydived, like go do something crazy.
That's comfortable for me. So hey, let's do it anytime.
Yeah, it's comfortable for me too. Let's go. I'm ready.
Well, even though there were nerves coming in, I felt like they're just natural. They just flow together really well.
And this is early in the day. We're going to just do this as it progresses through. Jordan, you have any comments or thoughts? I mean, you did interrupt them, and it was like, was the subject boring? And you're just like, let me have a spoon, and hopefully this guy just shuts up. Or what was the? Were you nervous? Tell us about what were you feeling? Do you remember? Do you remember?
No, I do remember. I also had nerves, and I think as Carrie Ann was talking about, there's also that fourth dynamic that you're being and maybe a fifth. You're being also asked to cook together on a blind first date. And so you add that dynamic together, and you're cooking in someone else's house. So it was very generous that you guys opened up your house to do this, but there was a little bit of fumbling and trying to figure out, I was also trying to make sure we didn't burn the meal. So wanted to make sure that, that we were continuing to cook as we were having the conversation. By no means was it uncomfortable or awkward. But yeah, I did realize in watching that video that I should have said, "Can I have a spoon, please?" or have some sort of mannerism.
That's the great thing about it. All right, let's continue. We got more to show. All right, next video.
We're gonna get along great. Beautiful campus.
I promise I'm listening.
A nice little gym within. So tell me about. So a little bit about me. We'll start there. We'll talk about me.
That's fair.
I think that's some nerves playing in there right there too.
There were any comments?
I was going to say, way to take the lead, Tony. I mean, we usually do ladies first, right? You're like, I'll just start with me, which was totally fine. Jordan was so cool with it. So you guys just kind of flowed, which was so awesome. But it was quite funny to watch that part.
Jordan, any thoughts about that one?
It cracked me up because I would say he definitely was a little bit more open than I probably would have been. And so when he took the lead, I was like, I'm just going to let him go with it.
Okay. And Tony, come on.
Well, I think I was feeling the introvert kind of awkwardness of the whole thing, and I didn't know how to broach the subject of, hey, tell me more about yourself. And so that's kind of took the pressure off Jordan there. Well, that's how.
Okay.
Thank you.
I do want to say that there was some nervousness. Obviously, there's a lot going on, a lot of anxieties and things that were happening at the beginning. And as you're probably going to notice, is as the day goes on, they sort of relax a little bit. So, hey, let's go on. Let's go on to the next video.
Okay, this one's mine, and this one I got for you. So I have no clue how I did on the spices by any means. So, yeah, be daring, and if you want to grab a spoon. It's super hot.
Yeah, burn your tongue.
I'll do dishes later.
No, we'll do dishes. We'll do dishes together. How's that?
What do you think?
This is definitely an interesting first date. A blind date and a first date where you end up in the kitchen together, making conversation. That's a good thing, though.
I've been here. Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
We have no boiling water just yet, so.
I guess I should read the box, huh?
I think it was
Typical
$4.75.
guy, don't read the directions, huh?
I think it was
Okay.
$4.75. Should we try it again?
Sure. Good job.
Yeah. Are you a hunter? Do you hunt?
I am. Do you know what the doe said when she came out of the woods?
What?
Last time I do that for a couple of bucks.
Oh, nice. We may just be eating sauce with toast.
Right.
Okay, see if this works.
Blind date, here we are. What are you looking for in a relationship out of, the blind date? Friends, just hang out, and what do you look for in a guy?
So when my girlfriend said, "Hey, I have someone that I think you should meet," and so I said, "Sure, let's do this." And so ultimately, I want to have a good time, a good meal that we both were able to successfully prepare. That's a bonus. I don't want to burn our dinner.
Yeah, I can watching this. Keep going.
I was thinking more of the sauce, but my friend has this great philosophy about when it comes to dating, that when you just go and you're at dinner and you're staring at each other, it's almost like just an interview.
Right.
So that's fine for a first date. But then after that, you should do an activity and do something that you actually can spend the evening for, that you can both be interacting with. And so then, preferably something you enjoy doing or want to do.
I think Jordan just put it all out there.
I can't believe you actually made the cut.
Tony copping a little feel.
This is weird. This is like Twilight Zone cool, but weird. So do you know what the difference between in-laws and outlaws are?
Kind of sneak a peek here and there when you can, maybe when she's not looking.
Jordan, what's your answer?
All right, Tony, what do you say? Do you want to go on another date with Jordan? Okay, folks, thank you so much for watching. That was the first half of our blind date episode. If you want to find out if Tony and Jordan go on a second date, make sure you click on Conquering Your Heart next Sunday.
And if you're having issues in your relationship or dating, or if you're single and want to come on Conquering Your Heart, email us at conqueringyourheart@gmail.com and we will reach out to you.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.